I don't know if the mic is working properly. Hello, everyone who's here. I am just checking if the mic is actually working and if you guys can hear me clearly. Hi, Kellyanne. Okay, great. Okay. I'm just gonna give it a few more minutes. Okay. I don't know how to do that. Okay. So basically, I decided that with the talk of my best friend, well, I was dabbling with the idea, but I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to. But with being convinced by my best friend, I decided to come on live to actually discuss what the effect is of COVID-19. Yes, we know the physical part of it where people are not working anymore, or some people working from home. There's also others who don't know where the money is coming from for their next meal. And I figured it's nice to put forth a medium for people to actually open up and discuss what is going on with in regards to the mental health of people's mindset in the effect of the pandemic. So with comments from you guys, and as well as I sharing experience and what I've personally noticed, I figured it would be a great medium to express your feelings, put everything out, and not keep it cluttered in the mind, because that's how you can actually make your mental health get worse, and also offer a little bit of advice on how you can help yourself and your family members, and any words of encouragement, and also being realistic about the situation at hand, as how moving forward, how it can still affect us, and how we can help to lessen the burden of the effect of the pandemic. So I'm just gonna open up the floor to basically allow you guys to let you shed some light on your experience so far. Like, technically, if you guys have actually sat down and felt your feelings of what is happening around you guys. In the meantime, while you guys actually answer that question, what I've personally noticed is that a lot of people are being laid off from work, and obviously business owners having to close, and they still having to pay rent or pay other bills, and don't have necessarily have any income coming in. And yes, some governments, I don't know about every country, but some governments are giving these people who are qualified under it money to offset the effects of what they're experiencing. But that's only just the physical part of it. I feel like there's also the mental strain of the pandemic as well. In specific regards, is that often people find solace in going outdoors, in people find solace in working to avoid what they're experiencing internally, and that kind of escape is completely cut. So basically, these people might be battling and struggling with that type of heavy burden. And I just want to bring awareness to it, that this is something that needs to be talked about, and this is something that needs to be addressed. Specifically, growing up in a little island of Jamaica, mental health isn't really something that is openly discussed, or government pours into this sector of people's lives. And I want to bring awareness to that, so people can actually start accepting that these are things that actually happen and these are things that people actually experience. I'm still waiting for someone to actually just give an actual statement of how they're feeling. You can just give like a one word adjective, and then I'll just go off that and see where I can shed a perspective and shed light. Okay, someone said panic attacks. I feel that the source of panic attacks is all the information that people are being bombarded with in regarding to the news or people sending posts on WhatsApp. And then in between the pandemic, there's other things developing, such as the 5G cell towers. Honestly, in my opinion, though people might have their research, I think it takes a little bit more of an intelligent response to what is being thrown at a person. So I personally advise people to avoid watching the news so often. If anything, you should probably just choose one source of information and only go towards that one source when you need to know what is going on. I know presently in Jamaica, there's a parish, St. Catherine, that is being locked down in regarding to getting a source of information or when you're allowed to shop and so forth. Then that's where you go to seek that information. But otherwise, like, lessen the amount of time you get in contact with what's on the news. The news portrays the worst of the pandemic, the rising cases, how much people are positive, the people who are dying, and not a lot of it portrays how much people are actually being recovered from the virus on all ages, not just the older folks that we're told that is just susceptible to the virus. So I feel like we should take into account that any disease can come with a set mortality rate, but there's also the possibility of complete cure, complete healing. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to know the positive numbers, but it's also very important to know that there are people actually recovering from the virus. Somebody said that they feel a little uncertain as to the future, but they're trusting God. Absolutely. Being a realist about the situation, I feel like right now, as the government or the governments are trying to take control of the virus, I feel as if this is just going to be the level road part of what it is, given that basically the whole world is going through this. It's going to cause it's going to cause backlog in different applications of different things, as well as strain on businesses, as well as strains on families. And in that sense, and I hate to say it because I'm trying to build some sort of positive regard and perspective about what is happening, this probably would not be the worst of what the pandemic is. There's the aftermath of the pandemic that we need to deal with. And I feel like us voicing our concerns and bringing attention to what's happening right now, especially to the government, because they're the persons who technically controls most of what's happening, is order for them to put something into place to offset some of the aftermath of what the pandemic would bring. The economy is going to be completely shattered, and people are already being laid off from their jobs. And honestly, I feel like it's very heartbreaking that people are experiencing what they're experiencing right now. And I also myself, I'm not certain what the future holds, and I can't say that things are going to be brighter and better, but what I can tell you, it will get worse before it gets better. And by history research, you guys know something like this happens every couple of years. And this is probably a way for the earth the planet to replenish itself from the destructions that us humans, inhabitants of the earth, has done to it. And in layman's term, it's really just the cycle of life. And after everything else, it's just going to go back to what it was. But then we'll be able to better accommodate, to better move forward, and to elevate from this pandemic. Because I'm sure after this learning experience, we will know how to approach this situation. Because this is something not necessarily unprecedented, because it has happened before, like the flu, and the bird flu and stuff like that. It has happened before, but this is something completely novel. And I feel like with that experience from those previous pandemics, we are able to just from that experience, we're able to adjust how we appropriate and move forward dealing with this pandemic. So it's not all bad. It's just something like a rough patch in life, and you learn from your mistakes and you move forward from it and be able to better approach future mistakes to avoid mistakes. Okay, how am I coping? I can definitely say that I consider myself being blessed throughout this whole pandemic. Most of you guys who follow me on my YouTube channel know that I was living alone. I was here just by myself, and my family was in New York. Well, it was in Jamaica first, and then they moved to New York. And it so happened that my family actually came over like near the end of last year, and I'm currently with them. And I can say I'm completely grateful and thankful to God that I am experiencing this with them, given that the state of New York being the highest number of cases in the US, and my parents and my brother being there, I would have probably been dealing with this worse off than I would now, as well as just having like family support and going through it with your family just makes the burden less detrimental to my mental health. And I figured that's probably the same with other people, and I feel it for those who are going through this alone. I pray that God just holds your hand and carry you through the situation that you're going through. So it's honestly, I am more so worried about other people than I am for myself, because I know the situation that I'm in is not the worst. People are experiencing way much worse than I am. Somebody saying that they are still an international student here in Toronto. So yes, I know what it feels like to be here alone. I'm not sure if you're with family or close relatives, but I hope that you are finding solace in God in this trying time. Sorry, I'm seeing stars. Maybe it's the light. But I hope that you're finding solace in God during this trying time. And if you need somebody to talk to, you can actually message me on here. I will try to get in contact with you in a safe way. Like even my email is just fine. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm here to lend a helping hand and show support wherever I can and able to. Okay, that's great. That's good news. Okay, good. Answering. Okay, so you're looking on the positive of the pandemic is that there is going to be a housing crash. So like the housing market is going to crash. So people will be able to afford housing if and only if they had the savings. And hate to turn this into a negative side, but those savings that they actually kept to themselves to actually purchase a home might be going towards taking care of what needs to be taken care of presently. But the good thing is that things are going to be more affordable in regarding to the housing market as well. I think a lot of jobs are going to eventually become clearly like open, and then there will probably be a boom in the employment industry where the percentage of unemployment will drastically decreased. So that's also another positive of the pandemic. People who've been unemployed for months or years before this would probably be able to get a job after this. So that's something that could possibly more than likely happen. So that's a positive about the pandemic. Those who were unemployed will now be employed. Someone said, just like the economy, there are 3 stages of the pandemic. So most will see a rise in cases. So in regarding to economy, if I'm trying to understand what you're saying, is that there's always a rise in economy, and then there's the peak, and then there's the crash, and that I think that's what they're saying, is that you can't go any much higher than the peak, so you're always going to crash. So maybe the start of the cases is the start of the COVID cases, and it rising, it's going to peak, and then it's just going to come down and diminish, and then everything will just level off, and then probably there will be another rise, and hopefully it stays at a plateau and we don't have another huge major like pandemic or some other disaster, like God forbids World War III, and moving forward. So yeah, I see what you're saying. And we're also looking forward to that decline, and as I said, for it to be tapered off. What is my thoughts in relation to the Bible being fulfilled? From what I've read and on my understanding of the Bible, is that I don't necessarily think that this is the end time like revelation, but I do believe that it does have some sort of connection in regarding to God warning us to get ready for the end times. So not necessarily this specific situation, because it's not just the virus. There's also like stories of the fires, there's also stories of the plague that are circulating in the news as well, which kind of all characterizes what happens before the coming of the Lord. And I feel as if what we're experiencing now is probably just the warning of the coming of the Lord. I don't think it's the end. I don't know, from my perspective of reading the Bible, I feel like the end is going to be worse than this. And even though they said that normally God comes and takes his people so they don't experience what is written in Revelation, I don't think he's taking his people as in those who are dying, because you can actually see that there's death, but he's going to take his people before death, if you get what I'm saying. So because people are actually dying from the virus and dying from what's actually happening, I don't think that this is the end times, but a warning for the end times. Okay, someone said, as it relates to someone who has the virus and was quarantined for 2 weeks, but felt, if I'm reading it right, but yeah, someone who has the virus, so they're positive, was quarantined for 2 weeks, but felt like redoing the test and was told that she doesn't need to, but went and did it elsewhere and was positive. I'm not sure if that question was written properly. I do agree that this is a matter of faith being tested, and we need to actually move. As I said, as this being a warning, I think this is also a reminder that we should be taking things more seriously. And I'm not trying to impose any religious views on anyone, because you believe in what you believe in, but I'm just saying in regarding to my personal faith, I feel like this is something that is just mentally reminding you that this is a time for you to draw near, and this is a time for you to make sure you build a strong connection with your deity. I'm not sure, I'm not going to say God or whoever, I'm just saying with your deity, because in my personal perspective, there's just one supreme being, and everyone has a different name for him or her. So yeah. Okay, so the person tested positive again and didn't have any symptoms. So I did ask this question on my Instagram. And I said, if you can contract the virus and then it goes away, can you get it again? And one person said yes. But now I'm thinking maybe the person can have it and showed symptoms the first time and then contracted it again and be asymptomatic. I feel like that is a possibility, but I'm in that regards, I feel like we won't be able to tell very much so. So maybe on the bright side, the fact that it's asymptomatic, it won't drive. Whoa, I think that was a shortage. I feel like in the fact that the second contracted disease is asymptomatic, it won't necessarily spread as how it spread initially when persons caught it the first time. I don't know if I explained that properly, but maybe that's what it's gonna be like. And that would probably be in regard into what someone else said, that would probably be the decline and the tapering off, the plateau that we would probably experience after everything is under control. If they get the virus again, their system is probably get used to that attack, and the system will be able to better adjust to that virus to the point that it won't lead to mortality rates. Yes, as someone said, probably antibodies were formed. Okay, somebody said we just really need to be mentally prepared, and pray, and not prepared for the worst, but still praying for the best. And that's pretty much how life goes. Like we always plan, and they said, as you plan, God wipe. Because I'm sure nobody saw the COVID-19 actually crossing over to attack the first world countries. The days will be shortened for the elect sake. Someone said that unfortunately they were caught in the lockdown that was imposed in the city and weren't able to spend any time or to reach their family before the lockdown. I will keep you in my prayers. Again, I'm extending my hand. If you need someone to talk to, I'll be happy to have a conversation and to try to shed some positive perspective on what you're currently experiencing. Yes. Okay. Someone said that they understand what I'm saying and agree what I'm saying about the Bible and agrees to it. Okay. Okay. Wow. This is not supposed to sound. So someone said, upon the notes of still being positive after 14 days, what do you think they should do after the quarantine period? At some point, everything is going to have to go back to normal. People are going to have to go back to work. People are going to have to go back to school and all of that. So in regard what they should do, I think that they should still take heed and take precaution into what's happening, because even though the health professionals have deemed it for the virus to dissipate after 14 days, I feel like there is going to be some sort of lingering effects. From what I've personally read and what I've learned in school is that after you've experienced an illness, like the bacteria or the virus is still in your body, but it's dormant, and it takes something to activate the dormancy of that particular bacteria or virus for it to start all over again. So in regarding to what they should do after quarantine, it's just mostly moving on to being like completely take precautions, still wash your hands. You should be washing your hands regardless. I don't know why this became a big thing, because you should have been washing your hands regardless. Someone said they should stay home and not be around no one, and it's lasts more than 14 days if you have it. So that's also something to take in precaution. So even though you're not showing symptoms, doesn't mean that the virus has completely left your system. There's still a possibility that you could be contagious during that period. So that's why I said you just kind of have to take precaution and move as if you still have the virus. Like, don't like okay. This actually brought me back to another point. There's also the fact that I feel like kids, the younger kids, are probably don't really understand what's going on. They probably don't understand why they can't touch other people anymore, can't hug their grandparents anymore, and stuff like that. And I feel like it takes us, you're gonna have to sit them down and try to explain what is happening. So I feel like even that case, children are also having some mental reaction to what's happening, because things that they used to do that wasn't harmful is now a weapon to those who they love. So that's something you also have to explain. And in that regards, and that's why I agree with taking precautionary measures even after you've contracted the virus, and consider yourself no longer affected by the virus. There's still the possibility of the virus still being in your system and interacting with other people by touching and hugging everything. It's probably going to cause another like domino effect of cases being rising or something. So that's what I feel. On a brighter note, yes. What are some fun stuff to do while quarantine, and what fun stuff have you been doing during this quarantine? I have been playing video games. I've been playing Call of Duty with my friends. I've been playing Destiny 2, and I have been playing with my little brother. I didn't know that my little brother was this fun, to tell you the honest truth. So that time being with him is kind of opening, because most of his life I wasn't a part of it, because I'm like 11 years older than my brother, and I left Jamaica when I was like 18, and he was probably like 7 or something, I think. So I miss most of his growing up. So it's kind of fun reconnecting with him. So that's one fun thing for me. I also been filming a lot of videos. As you guys can see, I'm putting out much more than I usually do. Fun stuff you can do. Try learning another language. Download Memorize or Duolingo and try learn another language. I consider it fun. I don't know about anybody else, but I consider it fun. So try learning another language. 2, try to do something that you've always wanted to do and never had the time to do it. That's also another thing. Fun thing is family time. Play games. Yes, it has been almost a decade since I migrated. I think this year is year 7. Yeah. So try to play games if you're with family. If not, they do have like online mediums where you can actually play games online with friends. You can also Google it and look into that. That's something that you can do. You can do Skype calls or Zoom calls with friends, have brunch, have dinner, have a play date, something of the sort to make things entertaining. Go back to childhood games. Like I don't know if you guys remember, for my childhood games where we used to play like ABC Fast or Slow, you can probably do that over the internet. I think that's possible. Um Someone says someone is trying to log on. If you can send the link. I am not sure what you are seeing on your screen, but if you see like an arrow, you can probably just like click the arrow and it will give you a link, and you can copy that link and share it to somebody. I'm not sure if somebody have shared this link to anyone. Could you just like type it, because I think you guys can see each other's comments. Could you just like type it in the bar, and I don't know, maybe I can pin that comment. No, I can't pin the comment, but I'll probably copy it and paste it and then pin my comment, and then you guys can actually move forward. See, you can even play marbles, and marbles is an individual game. You can play that game by yourself. Marbles and jacks. I don't know if you guys know about jacks. It's like a small bubble ball with one of those plastic spike looking things. It's not really spikes, but I don't know how else to explain it. And you like bounce the ball and try to grab as much as you can in one hand. So that's fun. There's Ludi. There's also chess. You can learn to play chess online, guys. You can learn to play chess online. Okay, I can copy the link. I don't know if I can just like paste the link here, and probably you guys can share it. Hi, Valerie. I don't know, but there should be a share button within what you guys are seeing. So maybe then you can be able to share the live. In any retrospect, this will be posted on my channel so people can come back and watch it if they would like and see all of that. So you guys can continue giving more. Someone said, how about I start doing cooking vids like Jamaican? Can I tell you guys the honest truth? Ever since I moved in with my parents, I probably haven't cooked like an actual dinner meal. Oh, it's just one pasta, but I don't like pasta, you just boil it. So I don't figure that is cooking. But I haven't cooked in a really long time. I probably should. Okay, somebody said you can give the person my YouTube name, and then it should come up and they'll be able to see the live and join in on the live. So that's another option. So you just tell them that it's Alvina space B, and then when they find me on YouTube, they'll see that there's a current live going on, and then they'll be able to do that. Okay. Okay. Guys, my mother is on the live and she's like, I'm going to take a vacation from the kitchen. Okay, that would only force me to cook. So maybe I start. I have more time. I'll do it. I have more time. It's not like I'm going to like work and be out of the house longer than I used to. Like I get 4 hours added to my day now. So that's something. Okay. I'm doing a little introduction here because I don't know if you guys are actually seeing each other's comments, but Valerie Douglas said, "Hi, Yvette." If you guys see, someone just said if I should do a video of me playing COD, which is Call of Duty. If you guys want that, I'm probably just gonna do a poll somewhere in on my community section of YouTube, and you guys can vote if you want to see that. I don't know how much people actually want to see that. So if you want to see me play Call of Duty, which is a video game on PS4, then I'll do that for you guys. Okay. Okay. All right. Got it. Okay, everyone is seeing each other's responses. Okay, that's good. That's good. So let me just like reiterate what you guys could do during this time. I missed one. First, if you should be reading your Bible, try to get an understanding. I always say that people should know the Bible for themselves. So take some time, probably read a chapter a day. That's definitely something. I understand, Mom. Thank you. I know. Thank you. Yeah, so read your Bible, try to play some games, learn a new language. Also, try cooking new meals, try baking. That's probably something fun to do. Try baking. What else? Try to connect with family from that are distant from you guys, like people who you probably haven't spoken to in a really long time. You can probably try to connect. I'm personally not a phone person. I have a bad habit of not keeping in touch, and that's just like maybe something I need to work on. But I'm bad at keeping in touch, so that's something I should probably do. Reach out to people and family and friends who I haven't spoken to in a long time. What else can you do? Give yourself a spa treatment. Whether you're male or female, give yourself a smart treatment. Oh, sorry, I just burped. You. Give yourself a spa treatment, whether it's just like doing your nails, doing your hair, taking a bath if you can. If not, soak your foot in some warm water, add some essential oil. Also, you can actually do like I don't know if you guys have what they call them, humidifiers. You can use essential oils in humidifiers. You can get everything online. No, I'm not telling you to go spend all your coins, but like just get the essentials to do something to help you relax, be stress-free of what's happening. You finally get the time to take care of yourself, so take the time to take care of yourselves. Trust me, your body will thank you. I've been doing like facial treatments. I've been doing like sleeping a lot. For the most part, I feel like I haven't been going to my bed early for like since we were directed to work from home. So yeah. Learn communication skills. Somebody just said that they're bad at communication, but learn communication skills. Try to keep up with communicating with friends, significant others, and other family members, and build on that. Also, try to learn the skill of speaking and work out. Exercise. And it don't have to be anything like huge or big. I don't know if I have space, but I bought a hula hoop for both me and my mom. And that's what I've been doing couple times a day. I've been hula hooping. I kid you not. There's no space right now for me to actually show you guys me hula hooping. But hula hooping is good for the abs. It does help to get you toned. You can also do yoga. That's very good because it would also release endorphins and let you relax. Endorphins meaning the good feeling hormone. So if you guys don't know. And skipping. I also have a skipping rope. Get even hopscotch. You can use pieces of paper and like tape it on the floor. Try playing hopscotch. Get a little ball or get a stone from outside. Probably spray it off with a little bit of Lysol or alcohol or something, and use that to play hopscotch. So that's even something. Mom, this is not about how you feel about what's going on inside the house. Mom is saying in the house, social distancing is becoming a norm because we're spending time by ourselves. Which is actually, that's hilarious. Yes, we are. I don't know. I feel like I spend more time with Tristan than I do with my parents. Okay, mom. See, like, that's something your mom wants to change. We'll work on it. If you want, we can play like I have Uno cards, I have Jenga, and we have a puzzle that I fixed already one time, by the way. And I want to do it again. So we can do that. That's exactly why she brought it up. Aw, mom. Someone says too many devices. In this day and age and technological advances, yes, we do have a lot of devices working with. So, but guess what? It's those said devices that you're using to communicate. So it's still come in handy. It's not all bad. As I think everything comes with you have to use everything in moderation. That's what I think. And that's completely everything. Eat in moderation, use devices in moderation, shower in moderation because you can't waste water and you can't strip the moisture from your skin. I'm just saying. I hope this live is actually bringing some sort of solace and a little bit of escape of what's happening right now. So I just hope you guys are enjoying the live. If you are, just like pop over. I think there's a thumbs up button somewhere. You can thumbs it up. And if you want other people to join it, you can try to share the link. See, someone said the time is quiet and you're just keeping to yourself. So that's why we're on your devices. And I feel like it's more so of a escape from boredom. Like whatever we're looking at and whatever we're playing is normally a way of being active in some sort of sense. So devices are our entertainment, whether it be TV or your cell phone or your tablet or a PS4. Like these devices are entertainment at this point in time because you can walk outside, but you can't walk outside for long and you can't go too far. Go out and get some sun, yeah, and come back in and then you're back on your devices because there's not much to do in the day other than what, clean and cook. Mom, this live is not to attack me, okay? What are you doing? Yes, indeed, some people really need to have a balance in what they do. And with that point, I just say you guys need to make a routine, get up at a regular time, go to bed at a regular time, make a routine in regarding to even like the simplest thing. Do a skincare routine in the morning. Make sure you wash your face, you brush your teeth, all of that. Go downstairs, eat breakfast, talk to the family, go upstairs, do what you have to do. For those who actually have to work from home, like myself, I have the bad habit of literally working all day. I don't even go downstairs to go get food. Like, mom come bad me up get food. So sometimes you're not even watching the time, and sometimes your stomach just doesn't remind you that you're hungry. So it does get away, but you need to like stick to a routine. So that's one thing you can do to combat the fact that you have to stay indoors. Yes, I want to touch on that. I see what is happening in Jamaica right now, especially with one of the parishes being on lockdown, and then there's set times for people to actually go out and get groceries. I don't even know how to really respond to that, because I feel like it's absolutely completely ridiculous. The amount of people that are living in St. Catherine alone, and for the amount of grocery stores that are in St. Catherine alone, I don't feel like there is enough to accommodate all of the people that they're allowing to go out at a set time. And probably this is the best way that they could have done it in regarding to timing the last names of when people are supposed to go out. Then it is what it is, and that's probably the best way the government could have like chopped up what could happen. But I feel like the government is doing the best that they can. Being a leader is not an easy thing, and making decisions in regarding to health wise is not an easy thing, because that said decision that you make can cause other problems and other complications. And there's really no way to avoid one thing. So you can't really cuss the leaders of the country. It's just the situation what it is. I feel like a lot of confusion comes from the enormous amount of information that is being blasted. And I feel like one person needs to take control. What, not one person, but like one company or one news outlet needs to take control and control of the information of what is delivered. I feel like the fact that they know that there's going to be a lockdown is why people are in the mode of panic. Because naturally, anything negative put out there is gonna cause a stream of panic, a stream of fear, or a stream of anger. It's going to happen, and we're just human. We're just reacting how we naturally can react to certain things. So I feel like it's the information that is being placed out there that can control the panic of what's happening. What is also possible, I feel like maybe there could be like a delivery company. And in that way, well, they will be busy, but at the same time, at least some set of people would be working to be able to do the grocery shopping for at least 3 persons. And in a vicinity, they can deliver to those 3 persons. And it would allow for you to limit the amount of items somebody can order in order to facilitate people getting the essentials rather than just getting something just because. If you get what I'm saying. I think if you give a limit on how much a person would order, they would order what they absolutely need. I see that it's escalating. I see that the cases in Jamaica are going up higher, and I think that's because people are not listening and people are not taking it as serious as they should be. Honestly, people are not taking the virus as serious as they should be, and because they're still conjugating with each other. Because even I see the situation with the call center, it's actually ridiculous. I think that even makes it okay. So what about, I don't know what is happening in regarding to for those who don't have transportation to go to supermarkets. What's happening then? Is there some sort of like provision for those who don't have transportation? Do they still take public transportation? And in that regard, are taxis being mandated into how many people they can actually bring in a taxi? Because that's still close proximity to other people who might have it and not be symptomatic. So like, I feel like you can't just look at something face value. You have to look at it deep from every angle. So someone said PriceSmart is providing service of call and order. So that's very good. And I think that more supermarkets should do that, but also that goes into hiring people to actually get groceries and do deliveries. Like it's just not something that's 1, 2, 3. It's something that takes like a logistical mind to actually plan out and push forward what needs to be done. Okay, so taxis can carry at least 3 people, but are they following that rule? That's the also thing. People are setting rules to offset what's happening and completely disobeying what's being said. And that's why they'll continue to experience what they're experiencing. I don't think people are really thinking on the consequences of their actions when they don't listen to provisions that are put forward just to protect their health. Nobody else but their health. And then once their health is protected, then so will the domino effect of everybody else health being protected. So, but I think people just have this myself, me alone mentality. And I feel like it's not just a Jamaican thing. I feel like it's Black people thing. I feel like this is the only race that some, not all, that some people are not willing to help others. And in regarding to the mandates that they're setting out, if they think about themselves and think about others, everybody would be protected. Because they would be like, oh, but if I do this, or if I go here and I have the virus and I don't know I have the virus, if I go here where like X amount of people are, I'm probably going to pass that to X amount of people. And I don't think people are actually thinking about that perspective. They're probably saying, oh, me drink this, or me drink that and eat this, me not catch it. Whatever you're eating, say X can't catch coronavirus. No. I believe in bush tea, don't get me wrong. I do believe in bush tea, but there's still more to it. Don't feel like bush tea can ward off anything. It can happen. You can catch it, and it can pass it on to somebody else. So if you just be mindful and think about that, then that's something that you're helping yourself and you're helping others. But for you to actually, you have to help yourself first, and then you'll be able to help others, because once you know, say you will protect yourself, you end up protect other people. I feel like that's something very hard to mandate though, because even so, it's always been that taxi driver supposed to bring like what 4 people, like 3 in the back and 1 in front, and that's still 5 people taxi that carry when they were mandated. So I feel like that's something hard for them to do. And again, just because it's all about making money during this time, so that's where the panic come from. They'll be like, "Oh me still need to make cash," so they probably don't listen, not realizing that it's more an act of danger than an act of saving themselves when you think about it. I'm just doing a quick check-in. Are you guys enjoying the live? Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, thank you. Again, if you haven't already, make sure to bust a like on the live, and then we'll keep the ball rolling. I wish there was a way like Instagram live where you can actually like invite people on the live. I wish you could have done that. Nice to see you too, Bibsy. I wish there was a live a section on YouTube Live you could actually invite people to have like a small discussion, and then we just keep on going through to build some sort of interaction with each other. That's good. And I sincerely hope that you guys feel a little better on what's happening. So somebody said a lot of uncertainty surround this COVID-19 virus. What's going to happen to persons who have borrowed loans from JN Loan Service? I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but obviously it's something that you're going to have to pay back. And I feel like if there's a good conscience behind the directors or stakeholders of the company, they would allow some sort of offset or reduce of interest rate to pay back. Hopefully, they're actually thinking about that, especially given that people are probably unemployed now because of the situation. And even so, if they want to offset some sort of negative impact on their business, they could also request some sort of letter from the person saying whether or not they have employment or they're unemployed, and give them some sort of grace period in paying back, if you get what I mean. Like, that's something that should be thought about. I feel like it shouldn't be only me perspective in regarding to, oh, I'm the company, you owe me money, you need to pay me back. Yes, but they should have a heart and some sort of leniency to know that this is not just affecting them, but this is affecting everybody, and therefore it's going to affect the money that people owe them. So I feel like if the directors of a loan company have a heart, they will provide some sort of leniency, whether it be a reduction in the interest loan or a grace period where they don't have to pay anything for X amount of months. They should do that. NHT is doing a lot in regarding to reduction of interest rate, as well as 3 months of no payment on mortgages. So exactly what I said. I feel like some companies, some directors would have a heart in the situation and say, this is what we can provide. But you also know that there is a limit, because it takes so much for somebody to run a business. So I feel like it has an understanding on both parties, both the company and the persons who owe the loans, that they'll be able to come to an understanding and agreement. So if there's so much a company can offer, then it's so much a person can receive and a person can give. So it just has to be like a thoughtful process on both parties. Also, NHT has waived the late fees until there's some level of normalcy, and that's very good. I feel like every company should allow that. And what I'm really concerned about is those who are actually renting. And I'm not specifically speaking about Jamaica, but more so foreign countries. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very regulated. Rental companies are very regulated here. Well, here in Canada, and I know probably here in the States, and people are not actually allowing somebody to pay half or waive a month of rent. And even though the government has passed a law here in Ontario saying that people can't evict people because they couldn't pay their rent, given that the current situation of unemployment, it's not, they're not allowed to do that. I feel like some landlords don't take heed, just like anybody break any law sometimes. I feel like some landlords don't take heed. So if you're living in Ontario right now and you're facing that dilemma, go on you know what? I don't want to give any bad information, so let me just like quickly look up the site. Okay, so it's ontario.ca, and they do have rental changes during the COVID-19 virus, and they speak about evictions and rental units, physical distances, and rent. So they have everything on that page. I don't know if you guys can see. They have everything on that page. where you can go and read information. You guys do have rights. Both landlord and the tenant both have rights, and you cannot be evicted because you're unable to pay your rent given the COVID-19 situation. So know your rights. Don't let any person take advantage of that. And as a tenant, you should also be very open and vocal with your landlord, letting them know what the situation that you're experiencing, even though they'll be experiencing it themselves, and try to come to an agreement as to doing something, meeting in the middle, whether it be cutting it in the rent in half, or like waiving a 1 month's rent, or pay a certain amount whenever you have the cash. And don't be mean and be like, oh, me get the cash, but me need to do this or me need to do that. Try to be lenient, because know that your rent money is also part of their income. So you just have to be, honestly, you just have to be thoughtful and be more conscious of what's actually happening. I totally agree. So government workers still get paid, for the ones that actually get for the ones that actually full time and full contract workers. I know there's a possibility that contract workers would be laid off, but um if as long as, I feel like it doesn't even have to do with government. As long as you're making some sort of income, or you're making the same income that you're making while under lockdown because you're working from home, you should be paying your rent. Don't try sidestep the landlord and act like it's a cool thing. You need to pay your rent, because everybody is making money somehow, and everybody needs money somehow. So if you're able to, just do what you need to, and don't try to put somebody at a disadvantage just because. For example, like even universities, they're helping out international students in general who are actually affected by the COVID-19. I still go to university, but I still work from home. So I'm still getting an income. And if they're offering me, if the university is offering me that money, I don't take it, because I feel guilty taking money that I don't need, because I was living on what I'm being paid right now, and I'm still living on what I'm being paid right now. In this situation, there's no need for me to take the extra money. So I would personally feel guilty of taking money, being in a situation that I'm in, and other persons are in worse situations. So just think about that as well. I also wish a lot more people was on the COVID talk, but I am actually thinking of doing this on a weekly basis it goes until everything goes back to normal. And if you guys are up for that, I'll probably just do this every Sunday evening. If you guys are up for that, just reply yes in the comments section, in the chat section. Okay, somebody said that would be good, just to check up on everyone. Okay, bring some sort of some normalcy to what's happening. And to actually make it a little bit more interesting, we can come back, do the check-in, and talk about something that would be like stress-free. Maybe I come on here and show you some like de-stressing exercises or something. I'll do my research to make it interesting and make the live worthwhile. So yes, I hope so too. She made fried chicken and rice, probably some vegetables. That's what my mom cooked for dinner today. Come to think of it, I might invite a guest, which is obviously my family. I might invite a guest to the live when I have it next week. Or maybe all of them show them face one time. Just depends on their availability and what them can do. She also made curry chicken and yam. That's a whole lot of food, mom. Okay, so I feel like I'm convinced. We're gonna do a check-in every Sunday afternoon, probably the same time as today. I'm probably going to limit the time though. I'm probably just gonna keep it at an hour because I'm even right now. I'm thinking if you guys want me to end it, I'm thinking of ending it at the 1 hour and 15-minute mark. And then we do the check-in every Sunday, and then I invite my family members to partake. I will plan and come up with some sort of activities that are interesting. We're going to start off with the check-in to get what could possibly be depressing news out of the way first, and then we move on to the de-stressing part and have like lively conversation and interaction with each other to build some sort of normalcy. And it'll probably be good after that. And hopefully other YouTubers fall in suit and carry on with the having a COVID talk discussion to help their followers as well, their subscribers, and just bring more awareness to the fact that people need to speak, need to release some stress, and need to promote healthy mental health. So that's the aim of the COVID talk. So if anything and you guys want to share it, make sure you use the hashtag the COVID talk, and maybe it'll probably have other people joining on the conversation and try to make it a little bit more like, I don't know, more normal, and reach more people, reach more audience. I can also do a live workout session. Okay, I'm very unfit, by the way. But yes, it's possible. Oh, we can do, yes. I agree. A workout Sunday. You guys are gonna see my bus. Because I'm very, very unfit. So most YouTubers shy away from the word COVID. They say it's because of strict regulations on YouTube. From what I've read, they said that you can, well, this is probably recently, but they said that you can speak about COVID. But I think what the problem with some YouTubers is that it probably is, you won't be able to monetize the video. Well, you can monetize it, but YouTube is kind of like very, like, I don't know, on the footsie in regarding to monetizing content that is causing a worldwide panic. For me, I'm not monetizing any of my COVID talk. I don't think I should be making money from people trying to build better mental health. That I feel like that's completely defeats the purpose. So I don't monetize this video. I'm not going to monetize this video at all. It's just for somebody to be able to come back to and release their stress and talk about things other than COVID, because that's barely what you're hearing in your ears. Like the whole COVID coronavirus is like a mosquito in your ears. So yeah. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining the live. Yeah. But if you guys are having conversations, especially on social media, just do the hashtag the COVID talk to gain some sort of awareness that other YouTubers or other social influencers should be encouraging people to talk about what they're feeling. Because granted that when all of this is over, people are going to be dealing with the quote unquote demons of COVID-19 in regarding to their mental health. So if I can be a stepping stone in preventing that from happening, then I'll definitely try to be that good influence. So yeah. LOL snack run. Just got home from my snack run. That's hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If anything, this is going to be something that I'm just going to continue. Not if anything, I've already made the decision to continue this every Sunday as a check-in for everybody who would like some sort of solace in the midst of the chaos. So I feel like I'm doing something good. So I will continue. I will continue. If you help one person, you help a lot because that one person can help somebody else. So I'll continue. Okay. Did I think things would have gotten to this level? Honestly, to tell you the honest truth, I figured that being in a first world country, the government would more so be able to control it better than for, say, a third world country. And I did not expect it to come to this part where we literally have to work from home or people being laid off from jobs. It's scary to go outside, and the fear, I did not expect it to reach this level. And honestly, I'm very surprised. This is unprecedented in our age, not just me, even my mom. Like, let's face it. Even my mom, probably my grandparents, did not experience something like this. So this is a shock to the first, third generations of this time. So I did not expect it to reach this level, and I'm very, very shocked it did. And I wish the government parties were able to better control it. And I'm not going to talk about the United States of America president, but I don't think he's handling the situation very well. And I think Trudeau, which is our prime minister in Canada, is handling the situation as best as he could. And another thing, I think a lot of things need, like some of the orders that are given out, needs to be thought about more or in depth. But I feel like they did a pretty good job so far, and they're trying to control what they can. And I feel like the government officials are actually thinking about the people rather than themselves. So that's how I feel, by the way. You never know someone's hidden agenda, but that's how I feel. Okay, it's meeting the 150 mark, but if you guys want me to continue, I will. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to continue. Someone said if I didn't know my Bible after seeing the amount of bodies that was placed in the trailer, I would say it's Judgment Day. It's easy to think like that. And I feel like it's because a lot of people don't know their Bible is why there's so much panic. There and at the same time, again, panicking over something that is very like emotionally heavy is very human. So I'm not blaming somebody for not knowing their Bible and panicking over this, but I feel like persons who actually do are less so inclined to panic and have anxiety or attacks. So, and this doesn't go for everybody. So don't feel like I'm like throwing word or anything. This doesn't go for everybody. But people might have a better insight of what is happening based on what they know from the Bible. That's just my take. It is a scary situation what's happening, and this is a situation that builds fear and panic, so it would happen. Rest assured, this too will pass. It will pass. The aftermath of COVID will pass. Everything would eventually go back to normal. And guess what? People are gonna end up doing about the same thing what they do before. Like, you can't, there's just something you can't avoid. People are gonna do the same thing that they were doing before all of this happened, even though they know that some of the things that they were doing was probably the reason why this was got out of control. So all I can say is some people just never learn. Some people just really never learn. Okay. Okay, any other questions you guys want to shoot out there? I think I will be wrapping up this live pretty soon. What's your take on the person in Brampton getting fined about $100,000? I've actually heard a couple cases. Let me actually look up that one and give my honest opinion. Okay, so this is the backyard party one. Is it? So, okay. I feel like that's a level of gray area, people not understanding that even though you are social distancing from the general public, they probably feel like you don't social distance from the family that you have. But people were actually invited, and those people also went. So I don't feel like he alone should have been charged that amount, and probably it should be shared by everyone that attended the barbecue. Every adult that attended the barbecue should have shared in that fine. That's my take. And honestly, I don't feel like him should have get so much, but I think what the government are trying to push out, the agenda behind finding him that high, is some sort of president to be like, yes, this is a serious thing, like you should be listening, and if you don't listen, this is what would happen. So he was more so like an example case. That's what it was. But I don't feel like him one should have been fined. He should have, like, it should have been shared with everybody who attended, because I think it was how much people? I'm actually looking. 20 people. 20 people attended that barbecue. Those people should have shared, because guess what? They avoided the order to social distance as well. So the one man will decide for do the barbecue. I'm sorry. It could not be a barbecue if other people didn't attend. That's just my take. So they should have shared into the burden. But it is a hefty amount of fee. I'm not going to lie about that. But as I said, I think the reason why it's that high is because the government was trying to set some sort of example from that situation. Somebody said, I think so, but for the first offense, he should not be fined. But see, that's also another gray area, because it's not like people weren't told. So this is not like an offense like a hit and run or a robbery being a first offense. This is something to help control the health of yourself and other people. There is no, I don't think there's no first offense. It's either you do it or don't do it. So the fact that he willingly did it, I don't think it should be considered a first offense. And in legal terms, mens rea is having some sort of willingness and consciousness to do something, is what how they prove murder. Like if you don't have that in murder, somebody gets away with murder. Like if you don't consciously kill somebody or no say you plan to kill somebody, you get away with murder. But this guy him legit planned the barbecue and invited people to come to the barbecue. So he knew what he was doing and he willingly disobeyed that order. He should be fined. Probably not that much, but he should be fined. Like that he was an example case, and that's why I think it was that high. Too much. Feel like 100K is a lot of money. That's more than a down payment for a house. So that is a lot of money, but he should have been fined. Probably not much, but he should have been fined. Oh, and said probably he didn't realize it meant anything in his backyard. Granted, that is true. He probably didn't know, but I don't know if he put out a statement as to why he did what he did. I don't know if he put out a statement, but or even it's the neighbor that called. What if the neighbor could have said, that this extends to your backyard as well. You shouldn't be having any party. But regardless, even if it's in his backyard, it says a limited amount of people do not gather. There's no complete gathering. If they cancel concerts and if they cancel people going to bars or something like that, a lame bar probably bringing about 10 people and they'll close that. But I personally don't know, but I'm just saying they cancel that. I think common sense should have told you that it applied to your house. It literally said only social distance and isolate yourself with family members that live in your household. So it also goes back to brains, is all I'm saying. Again, people do not think about the consequences of their actions. How is he going to come up with that? Often the government just garnish your wages. So even though he's probably not working right now, as soon as he starts working, they'll probably give him a grace period and then they'll start garnishing his wages to pay off that fine. So in any way or matter, it's going to be taken. But from a personal knowledge, these offenses are going to be tried like a regular court. So people can show up and argue the ticket. So he has a fighting chance of getting that ticket dismissed, and probably he can use the excuse of it being a first offense or some misunderstanding of what the order that was put forward is saying. So they give people who are ticketed a fighting chance in court, just like a speeding ticket. So yep. Also, make sure you're drinking lots of water. Stay hydrated. No chapped lips. Oh, somebody said something up here. I think people can use their love languages to offset being depressed or feeling depressed. I agree with that. And everybody has different love languages. I think this even takes an opportunity to get to know your family members a little bit better, those who you live with. I think you will be able to build a stronger relationships. Like in my regards, I built a stronger relationship with my brother. Like seriously, I didn't know he was this fun. But I've built a stronger relationship with my brother, and there are certain things you start understanding about people, certain things you start seeing about people that you never seen before. So I feel like that's very good. Use your intellect to try to understand someone else's intellect, and also be open. Just know that it's a situation where you can learn from each other. So that's also another thing. You can learn from each other and be open to the conversation and be open to different sides of someone's comprehension or understanding of something. It's more like being accepting of the person wholesomely, and you just get to know them on a different level, and that can also increase your communication skills. Just saying. I went on a ramble and I completely missed that one, but that's very good. Okay. Also, and working on yourself during this time, definitely important. This is also something I want to add. So, yes, you have the time to work on yourself. And I keep on seeing this post on Instagram saying, like, if you get out of this quarantine, social distancing situation, and you're still in the same place that you were on before all of this started, you're lazy, you're not doing everything. And I don't think that's the approach to something. That's not something you just run up and say to just anybody. Like, you don't know what a person is dealing with. And remember that people were dealing with their own struggles before all of this happened. And the fact that they're secluded and probably some of them alone, they're going through it. So depression is a hell of a thing. I absolutely agree that depression is an illness. It's a mental illness, and it happens. People don't want to get out of bed. People don't want to shower. People don't want to eat. It goes way more deeper than somebody saying, "Oh, you're lazy, you never want to do anything." People are struggling. And I feel people must be more open-minded that these things are real. And that's the whole purpose of this live stream, to bring some sort of recognition and acknowledgement that mental health is a real thing and this happens. And a lot of people, where I'm grown, it's not considered to be something to talk about. It's not considered something legitimate. And I feel like that's something that should be broken into the Jamaican society. And like, the people who just casually look pan a madman pan the road and just say, "Oh, a madman." If the madman come for money, them run him. I don't think even the government itself are willing to take these people off the street and try to help them. And obviously, well, not obviously, because not a lot of people know this, but it's some medical imbalance and hormone imbalance in the brain that causes some of these illness. And there are medications that can help. Granted, some of them are not very helpful, or some of them causes other complications, but people can get help, and the government should definitely try to help, like, bring these people off the street, build a facility, even start educating nurses in mental health. This is just something I see personally in Jamaica. Like, I wasn't exposed to the term or the reality of mental health until I came to Canada. Like, I kid you not. So I feel like that's something that needs to be adjusted and implemented in Jamaica. Mental health is definitely kept in silence in Jamaica. It's like a taboo subject, which I don't really understand why. It's like a taboo subject. So yes, back to Sarah's point. Yes, you should take the time to work on yourself, but take the time on your own pace. You can only do so much that your mind allows you to do. And that's why I'm imploring you guys, exercise mental health. This can simply be adjusted by making a routine. Make sure you talk to positive people. Make sure you try to do something that engages you wholeheartedly, whether it be reading, whether it be crafting, crochet, knitting, something to release your mind, allow you some sort of solitude outside of the solitude, if you get what I'm saying. Even though you're in a quiet time, you want to take that quiet time and build yourself around a moment of solitude where you don't feel stressed or overwhelmed. So this time does provide an ability to work on yourself, but you can only work on yourself of how much your mind allows you to. So do you guys enjoy your little vacation? I personally am. Like, honestly, you guys know that I work and go to school both full time. The hardest thing I've been doing for the past 2 years. And I'm appreciating the time that I get to spend home right now. I finished my last year semester. I'm waiting for my summer courses to start, and I'm looking forward to it because I know I have the little extra time to do something, So like I work my work days and then I have like couple hours in the evening to work on homework, do my readings or something. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. The talk on the street is that we're probably not gonna go back to work until July. We'll see how that goes. Cause I thought I'd be back to work by now. So remember when you did knitting? Yes, I do. I should probably buy it, Can go up on Instagram and probably make some stuff. I just had a great idea. Okay. Somebody said I need to give a snippet of dub poetry that I used to do when I was younger. I'm a little shy. And I probably don't even remember half of the ones that I've written. I remember performing a lot of other people's not a lot of other people. There was somebody I looked up to. I haven't even heard from her in a really long time, but there's somebody I looked up to that wrote dub poetry, and I would perform them at church. And I also got into writing my own dub poetry and doing performances at church. But I'm shy and I don't want to do it. She said write new ones. Okay, I have another great idea that I can probably use my free time to do it. Okay. I feel like I need an illustrator though, because it would definitely be something that's drawing wise. I've tried animation videos on my channel. Like I think I've only done one, to be honest, but it's possible. I don't know how quick I can do it before this situation is over. Oh my god, you guys stop pressuring me. This is peer pressure. Stop pressuring me. I don't want to do any dubs. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do it, and it takes a lot of time. I'm going to attempt to do an animation with my dub poetry and see what would happen. I might write one about COVID, Jamaica. But I'm not going to perform it live. I'll do animation. We'll see how it goes. It would only because it's a hidden talent. Only because it's a hidden talent. Mm. Can I tell you that emoji, that clapping emoji looks like a washing hand emoji? And I feel like it's so fitting. My mom's like, I'm waiting. Yeah. it's a high five. It's because it has like the sparks little thing around it. It just looks like you're washing your hands. I don't know. That's what the emoji looks like. But these are actually cute emojis. They're really cute. Hmm. Okay. I'm just thinking of something interesting we can do because I feel like you guys aren't ready to get off the live. If you are, let me know. So if you are ready to get off the live, let me know because I can end it. But if not, I'm just thinking about something interesting and interactive that we can do right now. If you have like any ideas. Come on, guys, if you have any ideas of how we can make this a little bit more interesting or interactive, we can do that. Otherwise, we can go ahead and end the stream. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Mm, okay. Well, since no one is responding, I think it's safe to say that we can end the stream. Are you asking about the next live? It's going to be next week Sunday, the same time. If all goes well. Next week Sunday, the same time. And I would continue doing it until everything normalizes. It's kind of funny because I've even said it in my community section that I plan on doing a live series on my channel. And I wanted like ideas of what you guys are interested in, as in the YouTube community. Nobody really like commented. They just like thumbs up the video, thumbs up the post. But I mean, here we are. Here we are. It might not have been what I thought it would have been when initially I came and said I was going to do a live series, but that's why they said make sure you be specific whatever you put out in the world. Make sure you be specific because here I am doing a live stream and plan on doing it until everything goes back to normal. Okay, well, I want to use the washroom, so Mom, you're not getting the poetry today. We're not getting it today. Just hold. You can get your own personal dub poetry after I'm done. Okay, so I'm just gonna end the stream here. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for interacting. And if at any point that you feel like you need somebody to talk to one away, my email address is in my IG bio. Also, it's on my YouTube profile page, like the end that says more information. You guys can contact me there, or you can actually just DM me on the IG. DM me on IG, and I should see it and I should respond. I don't get notification of when a new person messages me, I literally have to go in my DM to see it. So if I take long, I'm still going to do it. But just be reminded that you need to take time to release stress. Don't let the situation burden you. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I know this is a hard time to be experiencing this, and I know people are experiencing the worst of it. Again, I'm available if you need somebody to talk to. It will be kept in total confidence because I'm gonna chat like that. So it will be kept in total confidence, and I'll see you guys in the next live next week, Sunday, 4 p.m. Toronto time. So if you don't know the corresponding time, make sure you just Google it and see what time is it in your country at Toronto time in 4 p.m. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. And keep in touch. And I said I'm here if you need anything. Thank you guys. Bye.